For many viewers, the tactical side of professional Counter-Strike can be a little overwhelming. With so many smokes and defaults, the timings, the map control, the spawns, etc., it's easy to get lost and only see the frags and the headshots. Well, today in this first episode, in a new series we're calling Getting to Grips, we're going to learn how the pros approach Dust2 on the offense, and hopefully everyone can learn a little along the way regardless of their skill level. So here on the terrorist side of Dust2, there's only really one place to start, and that's here on long, as the G2 squad, they'll be coming for some long control. So what utility are they throwing? Well, firstly, we have this long corner smoke, removes all the vision from the CT side on towards long, and particularly those long doors. And on these entry flashes, the T side, they make their way out, try and gain some ground, and actually get some control here towards long. Now in this round, Astralis, they do a pretty good job themselves with their utility. Turns into a real brawl, and eventually G2, they'll come out on top of all these players fighting together. So jumping back and on board with Nexa, let's see how this plays out from his perspective. Well, Nexa, he's going to be throwing some of his own flashes, try and help himself gain the ground. And actually in this one, he goes really aggressive and gets himself into the pit. But as we said, Astralis, they did quite well themselves with their utility and managed to frag him down. So back and on board with Nico, he's going to be throwing this long corner smoke, as we talked about earlier, plus some entry flashes to help his teammates get out of those long doors. And he's going to join them and come out along and fight together. So Nico, he gets one frag onto this player in towards pit, and now on a flash from his teammate, they're all three going to fight together. It's really important here on towards long to use your utility like this and fight as a team on those flashes, and really just try and take the brawls to the other team, but take the fight on your own terms. Now in this round, the trades go in G2's favor, and they find themselves in a 3 versus 2, and from here the round is really going to slow down. What actually happens is they lurk Nico all the way out here into mid, and they leave these two players on long in Amanek and Kenny S. They're just holding station. They're hoping for some pushes from the CT side. And what's going to happen is Nico here, he's going to go for a flank through CT on towards this A bomb site whilst those players on long, they hold station, they wait for Nico to pull off the flank. And as we'll see on this occasion, it plays out perfectly for G2. Nico catches device totally unawares, and now these players, they can just run up long and have an easy time. Now, when taking long sometimes on Dust2, it plays out perfectly. You get the control all to yourselves, and the CT side, they give it up. And on this one, we can see Astralis, they've got 4 players out along with just Magis in towards that lower tunnels area. Now, from here, Glaive, he's going to molly out the car. You see this all the time on the T side of Dust2. Just remove that totally from the equation. And now, they're just going to play it super simple and work their way up a flong with some cross smokes coming out from Dupree and Device in towards the pit. So as these smokes start to come in, the players, they work themselves up this left wall, and those smokes there going down. These are the cross smokes. They remove all the vision from in towards CT and up here on Catwalk. And then on these flashes from Device, all these players can swing out together and come up for this control and really get onto the bomb site and look for a plant. And Glaive, he does a good job here, gets a nice frag. So Astralis here, they played the round perfectly, super simple, and it worked out great for them. And if you're wondering why we're not really talking about nade lineups, I put that all at the end of the video. So at this point, we can just talk through the rounds themselves and really see what's going on. So on the terrorist side of Dust2, one thing you don't have is really any standard default. And what I mean by default is this is when you just spread across the map with the same players going to roughly the same places and seeking out some map control or potentially some frags. Now what you do have on Dust2 is going for mid control fast, and then potentially thinking about catwalk control or maybe playing a little bit into mid. So with Na'Vi, we're going to see how they come for this control here towards the middle of the map. So simple, he posts up on this mid line, holding the doors like normal. And whilst he's holding these doors, these two players running down the center, they're covered by Simple. He can hold the swings. So we have Boomich and Electronic here. And on some more flashes through the doors, they make their way down. Boomich is also going to molly short. And on another flash from Electronic, he has a peek out and clears the left side of mid. Now, off the back of getting mid like this, you can come for catwalk control, like Boomich is doing here. And you get some more control for Na'Vi. So watching from an overview, we can see that these two Na'Vi players, they run straight down the middle. Simple, as we said, he's holding the swings. Loads of flashes going off to also push back any potential CT players. And then they can come straight from getting mid like this into that catwalk control. Now with Electronic, this is a different round coming out from Na'Vi, but roughly the same thing is going on. It's just Electronic, he's the first player in this time. Simple's holding the swing. These two players are running as fast as they can down mid. Molly as well there for short to cover off any of those sort of positions from the CT side. On this occasion, they do actually get mollied in mid, but they decide, let's push up into short. We're going to hit this A bomb site. The Perfecto, he's going to line up a nice flash flash these two players in Na'Vi round short. The flash does catch them a little bit. Not the best flash and coordination from these teams, but regardless, they spot these two players here on short. And what's going to happen is fast trades come in and Na'Vi decide we're going to commit behind these frags and go for this A bomb site. But the two Vitality players here do really, really well, and they're actually going to disrupt Na'Vi so much they're going to turn around and head all the way back into this B bomb site. So Perfecto here, he's actually going to get left in a 1-on-3 fast trade here onto Na'Vira. And as we get into this 1v2, I want you to notice how Perfecto isolates these duels. He gets up on there, he spots the one player towards tunnel, instantly looks towards the window, one frag onto there, and Perfecto, he dances around this box, constantly on the move, makes it difficult for Shox, and he gets the final frag and secures this round for Na'Vi. So we've talked about it a little bit already, but this next topic we're going to talk about is all about catwalk control, or short control, I like to call it both. So on this round from Astralis, same rough start we've seen in the last few clips. Fast down mid is Glaive, whilst Device is covering that swing. Roughly the same sort of idea. What's actually going on this round is G2, they are head stacking here on the left side. This is called the Noah Tower, and we have Nico on the bottom. Hunter, he's boosted up on the top. So on this one, what's going to happen is that Glaive, he's going to get a flash from Zipnix over here towards the top of mid. On this flash, he jumps up on this box, quick checker short into two fast frags onto these players in that Noah Tower as we talked about. Now the focus here is all about catwalk control, and on this one, that molly down, just a flash over the top from Glaive, very clinical, two players swinging out for the trades, very, very clean take, very clinical take from Astralis. Now this round gets really, really hectic, kills come in on either side, and the call from Glaive, let's just group on B, there's only one player remaining, and it's an easy cleanup for them. So jumping into a different round, we have Magis here. He has the top spawn for long, and he's going to make use of it by going for a pick here on his AWP. But unfortunately for him, Kenny, he's ready and waiting, and he gets the frag. Now, even though they're in a 4 and 5 Astralis, they have some decent information to play with. They know the AWP was towards long, and there's probably not one holding catwalk. So the call from Glaive is, let's just get aggressive, and with only a molly down, we're just going to swing out and get this control as fast as possible. Now they've got the catwalk control, they can think about hitting this A bomb site. And Astralis, they're going to get really, really aggressive on some flashes. Glaive, he's peeking out. They're going to start throwing these flashes down here. Now with these flashes, when they're popping, it means your teammates can swing up and round short like this and onto the bomb site without getting whited by the flashes. That's what plays out. On these flashes, these players swing out. Dupree gets a mega entry, but grouped up like this, it was always going to be a trade at minimum on to Nico. Now from here, what we're going to see from Dupree after he gets this trade is a cheeky little smoke into this corner on the kind of support thing up there on the wall. Give that one a throw. And this is called the Vanguard smoke, or at least what I'm going to call it. We're going to see a lot of this as we move into AXQs next. But anyway, from Astralis, we can see how catwalk control changes for them depending on the information. There's no kind of definitive way to take it. Normally, you'll probably use a molly, but apart from that, it all depends on the situation at play. So in these clips so far, we've seen a lot of rounds of getting mid control really quickly and then going into catwalk control. But on this one, G2, we're going to be taking it a little bit slower as Nexa throws this smoke for the Xbox, lands just here and removes all the vision from mid up on towards that catwalk area. But Glaive, he's also pushed up, and Nico, as he peeks out, is going to catch Glaive in the open. Glaive's not really sure where to be looking, and here's that Xbox smoke as we mentioned. So from here, the call from G2 is to get loads of players up here on catwalk. They're going to go up here and round the corner, and they're also really, really aware of the economic situation here for Astralis. They're not worried about Norpa being around to greet them on short, so they're just going to peek out without any utility. Now from here, what we're really going to be talking about is executing onto this A bomb site from this catwalk area. So Kenny S, he's throwing here, that's a Vanguard smoke, exactly the same as we saw from Dupree a few moments ago. And after these smokes come in loads of flashes, loads of mollies, all of the players swinging out together. And now they're starting to gain ground onto the bomb site with those flashes, and they get the plant. So watching this one again from an overview, we have that Vanguard smoke, and this one here is a catwalk progression smoke. Just helps you get out of catwalk and gain some more space. The mollies go down like so, and also we have those flashes exactly the same as Glaive was throwing in a clip a few moments ago. The bomb goes down, and it's an easy round for G2. So now that we've seen roughly what a catwalk execute looks like, how can you use it in a different way? So here from Vitality, roughly the same setup. They've got catwalk control in Na'Vira. He's going to be throwing that Vanguard smoke that we've talked about quite a lot already, and that catwalk progression smoke is also going down for Vitality. Now, as these players make their way out, this is really a fake coming out from Vitality, and they actually only have two players here towards short. And what they're doing is pulling loads of attention away from long as these 3 players from long explode out and try and gain some ground. And on this occasion, Simple, his attention's been diverted. They get the frag onto him, and this is the cue from Nivera to push up and finish up clearing out this bomb site. So with RPK, we're going to see how as this fake comes in towards Catwalk, they're going to explode out of these long doors and gain as much ground as possible. And the attention of Simple, that's been diverted. And as he moves back in towards long, there's 3 players to greet him. Quick frag from RPK. He's here for the trade if he was needed. He wasn't, but great round from Vitality. And here we can really see how those Catwalk executes work and how you can actually build them into bigger rounds like we saw here from the Frenchman. So let's switch up gears and talk about executing onto this B-bomb site here on the terror side of Dust2. So with RPK, he's lining up this smoke, and we're going to call this smoke the tunnels progression smoke. And this smoke lands just out the end of the tunnels, and you see it all the time on B executes at the top level. So the T side here, they're going to group up behind the smoke. This is the CT smoke that will fade in the moment, and they'll get up closer. And Apex over here, he's throwing a doors smoke. So on these smokes and all these flashes, they're going to explode out, gain loads of ground, and the trade comes in from Apex. They clear out the bomb sites, and they'll be getting the plant. So on this round from Vitality, there's more going on than just a BX. We have Shocks here. He's gone out mid with an Xbox smoke. He's selling Complexity some misdirection, not alerting them that they might just all be grouped up towards tunnels and hitting this B bomb site. That tunnels progression smoke is down. Nivera, he's on his Mac 10. He gets up close behind the smoke. And as we said, on those flashes, he's going to explode out, jumping up on the box. He's just trying to make as much space here as humanly possible. Door smoke goes down, he can cross onto the bomb site. And at this point, he knows this is a kind of save here from Complexity, so he's looking for some frags. Now, looking at this overview, we can see that tunnels progression smoke has just come down. And what this allows the T side to do is get up close behind the smoke without being spotted, and then they can explode out this smoke, widening the choke point from all directions. So the flashes come into this cubby, they don't wipe the entries, and they can explode out of the smoke and gain as much ground as possible, as fast as possible. So a great hit coming out from Vitality, and this is how the pros explode onto this B-bomb site. So with this video, it's really important for me that people of all levels understand what's going on. So please let me know in the comments if there's some terms I'm using you don't understand, or potentially I'm not explaining something well enough. I am going quite quickly, but that's because I wanted to actually show rounds being played out rather than just being super dry and boring, showing the executes themselves. And hopefully you guys are enjoying it so far. So either way, let me know what you think of this one down below. So on this round, the big topic we're going to talk about is splitting onto this B bomb site. On this one, Na'Vi, they're going to do it with 2 players in mid and 3 in towards the tunnels. So as this one plays out, Electronic and Boomich, they're going to throw some smoke. Electronic throws this smoke on the box. I'll explain that one a bit more later on. Now Electronic, he's going to be left in mid, trying to get some map control and apply some pressure. Whilst really Na'Vi, they're more focusing on coming out of tunnels. So Electronic, he gets this control. You see that tunnels progression smoke, as we talked about earlier, is down. And now these 3 players in towards the B bomb site, they're going to explode out. And with only Shocks in defense, even though Perfecto, I think he tapped his mouse wheel, but the trade does come in. And it's an easy cleanup in the end for Na'Vi. So this round is going to end in a 2-on-2 situation with Simple and Boomich remaining. They're playing a really nice crossfire with Simple back here towards the back plat area, and we have Boomich in towards the tunnels. And it's going to play out to a Simple getting 1 frag. He might die, but Boomich, he's here for the trade, and the crossfire comes into effect. So watching this one from an overview, we have that tunnels progression smoke and these 2 smokes in towards the mid area. And now the split's going to start to come in, and they're going to explode out of this tunnels progression smoke like we saw last time on the B execute. Shocks, he stands no chance, even though Perfecto jumps for no reason. The trade comes in. So on B split, you could send 4 players mid, you could send 2 players mid, you could do whatever. On this one, clearly Na'Vi, they sent 3 players towards tunnels. And this one's actually a really great call because they knew that Shocks was the only player on the B bomb site. So why risk sending so many players out into mid where you can get caught from multiple directions? They played it perfectly. They made Shocks have a really difficult time of not knowing where to look, and the trade comes in. So perfect execute coming out from Na'Vi, and a great example of a B split. Okay, then let's fly through these grenade lineups. End of the wall, left side of the wooden bit, middle of this thing, give that one a jump throw. The flashes that Nico was throwing, end of the wall like this. Aim on that wall, give those one a jump throw. And Kenny S was also throwing some deeper flashes at the same time on G2's long take, just like this. And the deeper ones just basically guarantee you're going to white any CT players playing around this long corner smoke, just like this. and definitely force them back. So next up, we have the long cross smokes that Astralis were using. This one that Magis was throwing, corner of the smoke like this. And you're going to throw this when this drain cover thing comes off your screen. Aim it like so, line on the wall onto the metal thing. Walk, jump, throw that one when the drain cover comes off your screen, and device through the other cross smoke. That was the close one. This one's the deeper cross smoke. On the side, crouch down. Boom, give that one a jump throw. And that'll give you a good pair of cross smokes, just like so. Remember, you can also high right flash as you come up and onto the bomb site. That's the best way to do it as you come for this control. So next up, we have the Xbox smoke in the corner. On the dots, crouch down, stand up, jump for that one. And of course, that removes all the angles from mid, up, and on to Catwalk. Gives yourself a much easier time. So next up, we have the flashes that Glaive was throwing. Just wing them down here, whatever. And the whole point is that your terrorist entry players will not get whited by the flashes as they swing out. And of course, any CT players towards that corner, particularly the AWPers, are definitely going to get forced back. So those are good ones to be throwing. We have Dupree's, a Vanguard smoke in the corner on the kind of the strut thing, the support strut there. And you can one way over the top of the smoke. Here's a more traditional lineup for the Vanguard smoke in the corner, middle of that thing over on the wall. And as we said, you can one way over the top of the smoke. And the whole idea is that you can see over the top, but any players over towards car, they'll have no idea that you're here and they can't really see you in response, and you'll have an easy time if they decide to face. Next up, we have the progression smoke on Catwalk in the corner, dots on the wall, give that one a throw. Easy peasy. There's also one way under the right corner of this smoke, so make sure to use that for some cheeky frags. Next up, we have a CT smoke here on the A bomb site into this corner. Aim on the corner of the wall, give that one a throw, just a standard CT smoke that you want to throw into your A executes. So over on the B bomb sites, we have the tunnels progression smoke, end of the pillar, anywhere along this line is probably going to work. Give that one a throw. And we also have the doors smoke that Apex was throwing into the pillar, crouch down, aim above the corner a bit, just make sure it doesn't clip it when it throws. Just like that, and that will land in towards the doors like so. Next up, we have the entry flashes here on this B bomb site. So give that progression smoke a throw, get your entries close, and then flash into this cubby. Really important that you do it like this on the entry flashes, because when they go into the corner, they won't white your entries because they're popping behind this wall whilst catching the CT players. So on then around from Navi, where they're splitting the B bomb site, boom, it's like this, which is winging the mid smoke, as well as a molly behind that box. That molly is really important. Electronic, the smoke on the box in the corner. Aim in this wooden bit up there. That worked really, really well. And this smoke on the box stops any CT players aiming over the smoke, whereas if you just throw a mid smoke like this, they can see the mid doors. And here's a more kind of conventional mid B smoke if you want to throw that one. So that wraps up the Nade lineups. That was fun to record that one. But this has been a great video. I've really enjoyed it. Here's a great clip of ZywOo's smoke. Going crazy on Twitter is this one. I think we're at about 5,000 likes. So go and check that one out on my Twitter. But you know what to do if you enjoyed this one. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. Hopefully you enjoyed this look at how the pros play on the terrorist side of Dust2. And I'll catch you guys next time around.